I think entitlement is like more of a symptom. Like I'm a little bit older than probably all the participants, and so my view is a little different. I'm like I stated earlier, I'm a boomer. So you see the changes societal that create the very issues that you all just described. Like and that comes from people who make the policies, which is your politicians, and other influences from previous eras. Everything is so disconnected in our community generation to generation. I don't agree with the intro that this generation did this and passed it. They didn't pass anything,
Oh, really?
in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the guy who owned Jet and Ebony, Mr. Johnson, for example, he's known as a very strong-willed boss. You look at people like Danny Davis, old heads.
A strong-winded boss. I think I need you to kind of go in. What does that mean?
It's his way and no other way.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that amazing?
It was not open for discussion. It was just, it's this way and nothing else. And he did outstanding during that era with respect to what he accomplished because it wasn't a lot of opportunities. But you look at a lot of the black politicians, who have they groomed for the next successor? Jesse White just left office, a very powerful office, a lot of good paying jobs with pension. Who did he groom of color to replace that? Bobby Rush can't hardly talk. Who has he groomed to take that position so that if you consider that accomplishments of black folks with respect to these positions, who's going to take over from our neighborhood? That's the issue to me because then you eliminate some of the foolishness, lack of opportunity because those are power positions that. But Jesse White is over 1,000 jobs. Tony Preckwinkle is over, and she's still in the position at the county, but she controls over 15,000 jobs. Then you ain't got brothers and sisters out here hustling, standing on the corner, because you can get a job that not only got Social Security, but a pension. Mm-hmm. So I think there's been a huge disconnect that goes back to slavery and that different generations look at what's popping in their dispensation or their era. And a lot of times I think the blame gets misplaced because it's not something that we created. It's something we have to endure and live through. Like I mean, this was before my time. There was a time they didn't let black folks play professional sports. But soon as we get in the game, they always changing the rules. They did it with Tiger. They did it with the Williams sisters. They did it with everybody in the NFL and the NBA. George Halas, the one they call Papa Bear Halas, he's one of the creators of the NFL. In the 30s, he voted blacks out from participating because he was just a racist. But they talk about him as if he was a godsend to the NFL. And he was horrible.
Yeah.
So, that's what we come through. And even today, I told you about the situation going on at my old high school, Lindblom. Lindblom is viewed as the black school in the black community, even though the board ain't never said Lindblom was about anything. But you got white teachers over there making money on the shorties, not really teaching nothing. Yeah. And then just saying, well, look what this so-and-so accomplished, but then they get to college and flunk out. And while they had good grades here in the city, which really weren't good grades relative to what colleges is looking for, same thing, same game they did with the charter schools. We graduated 100%, 90% of them young brothers flunk out of college.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Also, that same school you talking about with the 100%,
Urban prep.
They will put kids out if they are not passing. That's how they maintain the 100%.
That's how they get the 100%. Any school.
Oh,
can do
wow.
that. So those were the games in order to push vouchers and continually mess up all the neighborhood schools. You know, when they was white, when these schools were predominantly white or mostly white, you could leave there, go get a good paying job, make a you could get a job right out of CVS and become an air traffic controller at the world's busiest airport when it was white. But they took all of that out.
They definitely took the vocation out of the schools. You could
They
come
took
out of
all
you
of
could
the
come out
trades
of
out.
you could come out of Hyde Park being a registered nurse.
You came out with a trade.
Yep.
You could come out of what's the one on 69th Street?
That's why I'm back like your grandmother and
Packer,
all your ancestors.
So Parker
before you
was
had
on
that type of
69th, and
education.
then it was Robeson, but both of them gone.
You could come out there with a teacher's certificate, teaching the school.
Yeah.
Why is it when everything becomes black or predominantly black, they take all the money and resources out and just throw a label on, talk about, well, look what these kids are doing.
That's real racism.
That's how them taking away those vocations. That's how that's what put the black community in debt with
Good paying.
college loans. That's when they started pushing college.
College loans.
College dish.
Good
You can't do nothing without college when
Yeah.
black people were legitimately taking care of their families
Yeah.
with their trades.
Yeah.
or a bunch of useless
Isn't that amazing?
social programs. Like I took this piece at Olive Harvey College. They had the Y2K piece, so they was pushing $65,000 a year jobs, $600. My instructor was a white boy. He was an alcoholic. He came an hour late to class every day. We did one chapter. I aced it. There were no jobs. I reported it to the dean. I had her come to class. They kept the money though. I had her come to class one day to see for herself what my plea was. They hyped it all on the news, everything. You start off making 65 G's. There were never no jobs. They took the money though.
Take the
So
money,
you
waste
had-
your time. Go ahead.
Over the course of my life, you've had a bunch of programs like that dumped in the hood to say they was helping. Bishop Brazier, right down there on 63rd. I do the mentoring piece. I went down there to check out this robotics training program that they were offering. He got some money from the feds. I said, what are you teaching? What companies are hiring? Where are the jobs? The director didn't know.
Did not know.
I spoke to the director of the program. They didn't know. So it was a feel good. Just say they doing something for the community, and they haven't. And we have a bunch of those.
So those votes will still come in.
But,
So those.
that sound like what college is.
It
They tell you to
depends.
go to college, and then you get a degree and you can make X amount of money. And then how many black people have gone to college and put themselves in debt and have these college degrees and ain't even working in the field that they had a degree in?
I got 2 degrees. I've never worked in either field. But that's the hype that they've been doing for God knows when. But they never. Me and my boss is graduated Calumet. He went to Alabama A&M. I went to Prairie View and Oral Roberts. So he graduated. The black colleges were not accredited. So what does that mean when you get into the job market? Your salary is 40% less than somebody who went to like a Purdue or U of I or Stanford just because it's not accredited. That's what Deion Sanders was tripping on down there. They ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So you got to check this stuff out. The problem is we don't have a network or institutions really that black folks can go down and see what this school is if it's accredited. Colleges work. What they have in our neighborhoods, our high schools just feeding into colleges to support them for the federal dollars. It's not about educating, just like charter schools.
That don't make no
It's
sense.
not about education.
Yeah.
It's about all charter schools are about tax write-off for whoever is the sponsor. They do not educate. And I'll be
Ooh, bars.
They got pretty little buildings.
That's all it is. It's a scam.
It has to be.
But that's
Otherwise
what's pushing away the Chicago public school. They're trying to push charter, and either private school. I mean,
because them charter schools not unionized.
That's
Right.
right.
And see what a lot of people forget. This is a union town. It's a union county, union state.
Yeah.
All the states that butt up against Illinois are what they call right to work. You got folks flying down out of Texas and Georgia. But this is what they don't understand or know about right to work. Yeah, you have a right to get any kind of job. But the jobs that they talking about is like Amazon, Walmart, which are what we have traditionally called high turnover. It's like McDonald's. It's low wage. It's no job security. It's no protection. Texas has the highest uninsured, unprotected, non-medical workers in the country. It's all Pizza Hut, Waffle House, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
The real jobs, the real unions have never hired black folks. What saved us up in this part of the country was the government unions. But after Reagan, all that stuff changed. They outsourced all the jobs. So they have taken from people like you, me, working class. Since Ronald Reagan, real numbers, they done transferred $62 trillion from those type of jobs that we were accustomed to and privatized it and created your big box, Amazon stuff, which don't pay and don't protect anybody. The real jobs, and this was the kicker, how they sold it to the country. They said, we getting ready to move into the digital age, so we gonna create all these high-paying website producers. So they created Silicon Valley out on the West Coast.
Yeah,
they got the Triangle down in North Carolina, and they got that piece up there around Boston. They did nothing for Chicago, and this was the nation's manufacturing hub.